year remarkable administration of the beauty of democracy, a political colossus, leader of all leaders, the Jagaban Bogu, Asiwaju Tinubu in Lagos State. All Eyes on Africa crew was privileged to be part of the historic moment. Fiji's exclusive interview with the former Nobel Union citizen in Lagos State, Asiwaju Tinubu.
Lagos State is the industrial nerve of Nigeria. If you have to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
I doubt if there's anything I'll do differently. I've always been a problem solver. I've had experience in large organizations in the previous job that I've held. And I've seen clearly to tackle the immediate problem of the people. If democracy is all about people and our program is dedicated to people, definitely those earlier things we should have done is what we did. We had a very meticulous planning process before this administration, and we are very successful at what we have done. Done differently, nothing. No looking back at those things. I'm happy and fulfilled that we did what we have to do at the time it ought to be done. And that is the hallmark of a good administrator. The democratic experiment in the country is going on very well, even though it's hill and valley. And, there's nothing that will have done differently.
You say you're happy and fulfilled. I must say yes, because the negotiations, everybody is giving accolade and accolade and rolling out the drums to say thank you for a job well done. And I know you are part and you're one of the leaders to fight for democracy. Will you say in totality that Nigeria has indeed benefited from democracy?
One, yes. Benefited from democratic governance. Yes. But in terms of the dividend of democracy to the people, fighting poverty endless, we have not achieved that. In terms of having uninterrupted power supply, we have not been able to do that as a nation. In terms of employment for our youth, the nation has not achieved that. There are so many areas which is micro, and that is the federal responsibility that should affect the micro system in the lower, like say, state and the local governments, and that is the most disappointing aspect. But the worst, civilian government is better than any military government. I fought for democracy in this country. I believe in participatory democracy. I believe in rule of law and constitutionalism. And no matter how ugly it appears to be, no matter how frustrating the environment is, we still have to struggle at it and make it better for the benefit of the people.
Welcome to the Aerospace World Class Bandwidth with African Value. Nigeria Communications Satellite 1, Nigicomsat 1, a leading satellite operator in Africa, a strong inspiring service provider, showcasing Nigeria's intellectual strength in space science and technological system. Built on radiation-hardened technology and reliable onboard reprogrammable software, Nigicomsat 1 provides qualitative telecommunication opportunity, VSAT networks, satellite-to-satellite services, broadcasting television, sound provision, direct-to-home services, and video streaming to various homes. And quality, value, performance, and reliability. We also make a difference in navigation and global positioning system, internet services, and multimedia to various schools all over Nigeria. all these services at cheaper rates. Make it a deal. NigerComSert One, a new global discovery.
Your Excellency, you mentioned the relationship you had with the previous government, because we'll be taking over new government in 2 days, tomorrow in fact. Do you think that there will be a better relationship with Lagos and the federal government coming up?
Oh, definitely. Definitely the man coming at the end of affairs at the federal level, no matter how, the level of dispute on any election, is civilian. He has no military background. He's been a governor. He knows governance as grassroots. He knows the importance of Lagos to the economic stability and economic development and political stability of the country. Anybody working against Lagos is doing so at the peril of the entire nation. They have to pay attention to the need on Lagos, and it must be a collaborative effort. Not, see, after every election, to start to victimize a state or a person, or persecute them because they hold different political view from yours, is not the best treatment of any democratic regime. Individual, it's not the nation, nor the state. They serve the country, and we can't personalize political differences. It's building the institution together.
Your Excellency, you mentioned, we were listening to you give your farewell speech to your appointees earlier today, and you mentioned that you had butterflies. What are your plans from tomorrow, starting from Wednesday? What will we see Your Excellency doing from there?
I will continue to fight for democracy, for the institution. I will continue to participate in the politics of this country. I will continue to work hard to ensure that an environment is created where business and individual rights will flourish. That is very, very important to me, and I will continue to pursue that.
Your Excellency, in terms of the situation with Bola Ige, the former Chief Justice, he was the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice. Recently, the President said that he was killed by a drug baron. How do you view that response at this time?
I think that is an excuse for failure. I don't believe Bola Ige was killed by any drug baron. Why had they just known it at the dying hours of the administration? At this stage, the Attorney General of the Federation, Attorney General of Nigeria, the #1 law enforcement officer of this country, should not have been murdered, and you can't find a killer up till now. And last minute, you just discover a drug baron. Where are those drug barons? What leads you to it? How are they located? How are they discovered? And what are the, threats to this discovery? No one is known. It's an admission of failure. Excusing failure is not the answer. Bola Ige was murdered brutally, and they know how he was murdered, for which he was murdered for politics. It's a political killing as far as we are concerned, and I don't believe he offended any drug baron to the extent that in the course of his practice as the Attorney General of this of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that he will have been murdered. Then you are saying no one is safe. You are saying you have failed the nation. You have said you have failed to protect the #1 law officer of the country. Then the excuses are not acceptable. Those, to me, they are mere excuses. That problem is not solved. It's just unacceptable.
Hi, This is Shirley Ralph, and you're watching All Eyes on Africa, the Kemi Show.
I'd like your views on the diaspora. You were a diaspora. Diaspora is any African who lives, works, and studies outside of Africa. The AU now has a program where they're trying to encourage more diasporans to come and participate in the development of Africa. What are your thoughts on diaspora participating in Africa?
It is very important. Earlier on in the administration, I continue to advocate a special Marshall Plan for Africa. If the African Renaissance must be developed, it has to come within. So the diaspora may start to develop within, but equally, the developed nations will have to fashion a Marshall Plan to help Africa renew its infrastructure. They did it during the Third World War. They did it for Germany. They did it for Japan. They did it for Britain as part of Marshall Plan to rebuild the infrastructure of Great Britain. They should do that for Africa, and as Africa in diaspora, to now take it up from there. Training and human development is key to the economic success and independence of Africa. If the G8, and particularly the West and the European Union, will not see the immediate problem of Africa as that of infrastructure and unemployment. If you have enough infrastructure and job opportunities, safety net for the people, yes, Africa will start to develop within. We have human and material resources to develop, but human capital and material capital must be available for people to develop and stay away from crimes. Dead assets such as real estate, long-term programming of shelter, availability of basic needs of the people, electricity, water, and good road, direct payment to the farmers in order to put incentive in food security, are those items of diaspora. But interdependency of African countries is one thing. Interdependency and exploitation of African itself as a dumping ground from the Western countries without proper channeling of resources to develop Africa is a big problem. The two must go hand in hand.
Welcome to the Aerospace World Class Bandwidth with African Value. Nigeria Communications Satellite 1, NigerComSat 1, a leading satellite operator in Africa, a strong inspiring service provider, showcasing Nigeria's intellectual strength in space science and technological systems. Built on radiation-hardened technology and reliable onboard reprogrammable software, NigerComSat 1 provides qualitative telecommunication opportunity, VSAT networks, satellite-to-satellite services, broadcasting television, sound provision, direct-to-home services, and video streaming to various homes. On quality, value, performance, and reliability, we also make a difference in navigation and global positioning system, internet services, and multimedia to various schools all over Nigeria. All these services at cheaper rates. Make it a deal. NigerComSat 1, a new global discovery.
one of the Nigerian papers likening your personality. How would you describe Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I'm a believer in rule of law. I respect all court pronouncements. Instead of employing a method of anarchy to solve my problems, I go to court and I win cases, and I've won on several occasions. But those who may make democratic transition and change of government in an honest manner impossible might live with the consequences and make anarchy inevitable.
Your Excellency, the criticism that Nigeria gets a lot in terms of corruption and that kind of thing, don't you feel that your judiciary is working based on some of the court rulings that have come down recently?
Judiciary is working. They have helped the democratic institution in this country. Without them, we won't have a democracy today. They are the last hope of common man, of every one of us.
Would that be the reason why, because in your last farewell speech, you kept referring to judiciary?
Oh yes, you see, you've seen and witnessed landmark judgment recently. You've had judiciary come to the rescue of Nigerians being victimized or being persecuted. You've had landmark pronouncement on building of the institution, impeachment by 6 people out of 30, and persecution of political opponents. You've seen judiciary come hard and very, very objective on that. You have to encourage that, and you have to ensure that you strengthen the institution. You don't assault the institution.
Welcome to the Aerospace World Class Bandwidth with African Value. Nigeria Communications Satellite 1, Nigicomsat 1, a leading satellite operator in Africa, a strong inspiring service provider, showcasing Nigeria's intellectual strength in space science and technological systems. Built on radiation-hardened technology and reliable onboard reprogrammable software, Nigicomsat 1 provides qualitative telecommunication opportunity, VSAT networks, satellite-to-satellite services, broadcasting television, sound provision, direct-to-home services, and video streaming to various homes. On quality, value, performance, and reliability, we also make a difference in navigation and global positioning system, internet services, and multimedia to various schools all over Nigeria. All these services at cheaper rates. Make it a deal. Nigicomsat 1, a new global discovery.
In closing, Your Excellency, what is your vision for Nigeria for the next 5 years?
I see that we will have to regard the present dispensation as transitional. We have a lot of work to do to be able to strengthen the electoral process, a credible election. The people must have the right to choose their own leader, their own representatives. The economic prosperity of the country must be channeled to the people. Spend Nigeria way out of poverty. Empower the Nigerians to be able to work on them. We are not lazy people. We want to work. They want to work. We have to strengthen the education system in order to sharpen the weapon against poverty. Education is the greatest weapon, I believe, against poverty. And if we build on that and pay attention to the education of our people, road infrastructure, electricity, basic water need, good health care program for the people in the next 5 years will bring about the best out of Nigeria. It's still a very hopeful country. It we have the highest return on investment in Nigeria today. It's one of the largest, oil-producing nations. We have a very flourishing capital market. Long-term funds should be encouraged and they will be available. And shelter. We have to eliminate, cash and carry market system and make credit available to people. Part of the incentive or antidote for corruption is the elimination of cash transactions. If you need a house and you have to pay 100% for that house, is that not temptation for stealing and fraudulent management? When you are seeking money, you don't have a house, there is a need. That's a need. And consequences of the need. If you need a car and you have to pay 100% for the car, nowhere you can have it, certain percentage down payment and continue the credit to pay for that car. When you need that car, if you are over bribe, the temptation might be there to think about the car first before the consequences of the car. Whereas if you know that, from your salary, you can have a deposit and have a car driven home and pay over 3 years, you won't be tempted. We have to look at the sociological problem of corruption causes. Fight that causes from the root and not just, paying a lip service and doing firefighting.
Thank you so very much, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule. And you have a proven record behind and working for you. And the go Nibaje and wishing you the best in your next endeavor.
Thank you very much. You are welcome. And go Bajet.
This is the statement of fact. All Eyes on Africa crew wish Asiwaju Tinubu a prosperous future endeavors. Next week is another date. Catch ya!